Well, hello, and welcome back to LTB Farms. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. There's been not a lot of videoing going on the last few days because it has been brutally hot. We've had heat indexes anywhere from 104 to 111 degrees over the past week. Another week with no rain. What little forecast of rain that we have or had has now pretty much disappeared from the forecast. So, it's getting dry and it's getting difficult. I had a birthday the other day, yesterday actually, so kind of took the earlier part of the day and just went out to eat and kind of catch up on some rest because been out in the heat, and you know that just zaps you. How can you tell it's dry? Well, when the weeds start dying because of the lack of rain, it's bad. Just realized that I'm not seeing one of the goats, so may have to go see if she's in the fence somewhere. Would not be a surprise. There she is. Okay. Nanny's going running up there. Yep, there she is. I was kind of concerned about her because I didn't see her. What? What? Yeah. I can't do nothing without hurting myself. Yeah. Well, I was just trying to make a few measurements. That hurt. It's a tape measure. I pulled on it and it basically paper cut. Pretty bad too. Oh well. It'll be alright. A little pressure on it. If I'm figuring correct, if we run the hay table down this way instead of across that end, we're looking at pretty much 24 feet from here, that post there, to that post there. Okay? So I'm going to figure how many sections of this table would be right at 24 feet. We can still speed on the front side of it and then have the hay manger directly behind it. Something we're looking at. That way, when it comes to bringing hay in here, instead of having to take the hay bale all the way back to the table there, we basically will just bring it in, set it on top of the table like right here, and then roll out what we need. Alright. So I'm at 13 forward here. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 24. Leave just a little bit past that. That'd be fine. Yes, it would. This table is about 25-ish. Well, I'm hearing some thunder rumbling. That means I've got to kind of abandon what I was doing for a minute. Get some things done. I think we might actually get some rain. See that? Why am I whispering? I don't want to scare it off. Seems like that's what happens. Looking very promising. Thank you, Lord. Time now for another moving day. So y'all gonna follow me? Come on. Come on. Come on. They don't want to come on. Come on. A couple of them are getting brave. Sheep, sheep, sheep. Come on. Come on. Come on. Here they come. Oops. I forgot last time I tied this from the other side. All right. All right. Yep. See, didn't have to tell them twice. All right. Go on. Go explore. Go explore a new pasture. And I see Avery. May have just overlooked him, but I don't think so. Avery's one of our older rams. So, I'll need to go find Avery. Yeah. I'll let them explore for a little bit, and then I'm going to work my way back this way, close some of these panels, just in case they can push their way through in some areas. That way these panels will be closed up. I won't have to worry so much about them doubling back this way. Alright. Well, my apologies that I didn't get much recorded tonight. By the time I got everybody moved, gates closed, all that stuff, got the feed buckets made, it was pretty much dark. And this camera doesn't pick up real well in low light. So I just went ahead and dumped it off and went from there. So anyway, everybody's fed and happy up here. Cows are fed, just got to finish up some water tanks. Got most of everybody moved for the sheep to the new pasture in the back. Gonna have to make a walk because there was 3 or 4 that didn't come up. They tend to kind of stay to themselves. So I may have to kind of encourage them to come up when I get home tomorrow from work during the daylight. So that's gonna be about it for tonight. So good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, it's another day. And I debated on whether sharing this with you or not, but I'm going to. We, our herd that's out on pasture, try to do head counts, head checks every, well, 2 or 3 times a week. We try to get a count, or at least a visual check of, because we pretty much know all the girls. Well, Sunday, they were present and accounted for, including the ram. But as of yesterday, they could not be found. Yeah, there's about 8 head that we were unable to locate yesterday. Walked the pasture last night to see if maybe, because a lot of times you'll have groups of ewes that'll stay with certain rams. Wanted to see if maybe they were just up by themselves, up closer to the front of the fields, and just didn't realize everybody was moving, which is kind of unusual, but it does happen. Because even though they will often group themselves with certain ewes, will stay pretty close to certain rams. but they'll stay still in the general area as a herd. So even though they're sectioned off by their rams, if the whole herd moves, they all move together. So still very odd that we didn't see them. Walk the pastures. I know I saw them 2 days ahead of time in particular, and then they were gone. I'm a little bumfuzzled right now. So we'll see what we find out. Well, before I even get started, okay, I've said it a million times, sheep are a lot smarter than people give them credit for, except for apparently this one. This one is very sure that he's hung in the fence. Don't know how that's possible since he has no horns to get hung. So, just instead of trying to shove forward, back up. Turn your head and back up. See, that wasn't that hard. Okay. The group that we have missing was known to spend a lot of their time up near the front part of this pasture here. So I walked the pasture as well as I could last night, but it was getting so dark so fast that I had to kind of abandon. And at this point, I'm not just kind of looking at where they might be or gone, or even if they fell to a coyote attack, which I hate, but I also hate not knowing. You can see trails where they mostly traveled, and I'll find those trails and follow them to see if I can come up with anything. What it means in the grand scheme of things, I can't tell you. But I don't know if you can see it or not, but right here is a circular, round and round in circles right there. Enough times that it's trodden down the grass. That's interesting. What it means, I don't know. A lot of droppings through here. So this was one of their pretty regularly traveled paths up toward this front gate. I wanted to see for myself if anybody's been in here. Okay, the drive up to this gate doesn't appear like anybody's backed in there anytime recently. There is, can anybody tell me what that is? What type of dropping is that? Coon, possum, coyote, bear? I'm beginning to wonder now. But for that many to go in that quick of a time, in a couple days, that's also got me kind of bumfuzzled. I am finding absolutely nothing. The only thing I have found is that mysterious pile of poo that I'm not real sure what it is. If I can find anything. Okay, well, I'm telling you, I am completely dumbfounded. It's like they vanished into thin air. I don't mean to be crass or rude or gross, or whatever words you want to use. But this time of year, if they were reasonably close, your nose would let you know, if you understand what I'm saying. So, anyway, I'm gonna make one more walk up this way on this other pasture, and then I guess I'm calling it quits for the second night. If we find out anything else, we'll update you on what we find out. I will alert my neighbor to be on the lookout. He's very good about helping us keep an eye on things, and we try to return the favor. The not knowing of what could be the potential situation is what kind of bugs me. I'm sure you can understand that, because in this area pretty much everything likes to eat lamb. That is coyote, bear, big cat,